Oh, hello there, guys and gals. We have been just working on everything here recently. Got the lawnmower done last night, which was nothing. And then we've been working on our four-wheeler that ran over top the trunk of that. Nobody's fault, but... Well, the daggone throttle's been sticking on it, even after I cleaned the carburetors and all. So now we got it sitting in some really good crawl oil. This stuff. Okay? But first what we did, there was rust down in there causing the whole issue. So we put some of that evapor rust. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. We put that in it, and we let it set for 2 days, cleaned it out, blew it out with air, and dried all that stuff up. It was still sticking after that, so that's whenever we put that good stuff in there. We're gonna let it soak until we feel like it's gooder. Now, it hasn't stuck, at all, but the other day, whenever I took it on its first test drive, one, it did great, except for the throttle sticking, and it stuck in reverse again. Yep, sure did. Now it's stuck in forward too, but I mean, it kind of gave me a flashback from, another time whenever I got stuck. That's beyond the point. We also, since somebody mentioned getting an engine run stand, just so you know, I have been wanting one. We picked one up super cheap on eBay, Marketplace. I mean, we got a tach, temperature gauge, an oil side, but it don't run yet. But we are going to test our Junkyard 302 on it, and even more gooder, the LS, the 5-point tree that's underneath all that stuff, protecting it from me. So here's what else we've been doing. Running into the tire. Okay, so I showed you the front valance last time, right? We finished it up. Now all these welds that you see, those are going to magically disappear. I'm going to grind them down whenever it comes to that time, and I'm not going to show it because that's really not that great of stuff. But we did widen this. Why did we widen that? Because we ordered 2 4-inch lights to go down here to give it that Cobra feel. And we went right to this bolt right here. That way we would be even. You know what I mean? So I made this piece approximately 3 inches thick, bent it, and welded it. And it went so smooth. Nope, it was a train wreck. This side went extremely smooth. This side, not so much. You see the X pattern? That's where I had to hammer it out and do it again and do it again and do it again. I probably bent that side 4 times, no joke. Which leads me to our last little bits of rust repair. Now this isn't rust, but it is a hole from the bumper that used to be there. We got a piece of metal, we're gonna slide her in behind. And we was thinking about just welding it like that and sanding it. And I don't know. That's awful solid. That's what I'm getting at. But the main thing is right here, this door. As I said, we're not replacing doors, door skins, door panels, pretty much anything. I mean, we're keeping her the way she goes. That's the way it is. So, we're going to replace as little and as much as this as we have to, if that makes any sense. We got some squishy metal. I mean, up here it actually doesn't feel bad, but right here, I mean, she's going to blow through like not gooder. So I'm debating about cutting that out, and or just trying to like tack it, take the old welder and deep, fill in the holes. I don't know. That's really thin. I don't want to spend forever on that. That's what I'm getting at. We also have one last place of rust repair right there. And that guy is probably getting that guy. Because you see that? This is mainly flat. It has just a little bit of body to it, not much. So I think we can slap this guy in there and be wonderful. Cut that out, weld this in, be done. I'm not cutting that one out, I don't believe. I think I'm just gonna take a piece of metal, draw in the circle, push it from behind, weld it flush, and then call it good. So that's what's been going on with this. I'm still waiting on my lights to come in here. We got some LEDs coming in, they're 4-inch. And I'm trying to do as much stuff as I can on this rack because it just makes it so much easier. We are going to go get more sheet metal because we are planning to make a front spoiler, maybe, perhaps. And what else? Oh yeah, a deck spoiler. So we're gonna make them out of metal because we're gonna have metal. It just seems right. Also, we're going to be taking off these, whatever these are. We're taking those off, filling in those holes. We're thinking about either making a scoop, be the more cheaper thing, and or buying them. I think they're like 140, 150 bucks. They're fiberglass. They won't be functional at all because I'm not going to cut into here and do all that stuff. Like I say, we got other stuff on the horizon, and this is going to be, I still have plenty to do, plus tax to this thing. So lo and behold, let's just take our welder, let me set it up and see how much metal we're going to need for that guy on the door. I'll show you how I'm going to tell right, wrong, or indifferent. This is just how I'm going to do it. I'm going to break out the welder and just start trying to weld it flush, full of metal. If it keeps on burning through, dang it, you know what I mean? We're going to turn down our heat a little bit and see how that works. Let me drag my welder over here and we'll do it together. Sound good? All right, so we have been just welding, and we did 2 different ways of patching, okay? This patch here is in the door. I did start tacking right there in 2 different spots, and as you can see, it blew through pretty easy because this door is a crustable. It happens. But we cut it down to good metal, we believe. It's nice and thick all the way around in there. So we took this, drew it on a piece of metal, and then we lost our piece of metal. That's good. Welding gloves. You're also going to want to keep you an air hose around whenever you're doing any kind of metal work that requires, I mean, you can see the heat gets in it, right? Blow that sucker down after a couple spots. This, you jump around, blow it down. Just remember that. I really did lose, there it is. Okay, so we drew this off of that guy, and then it even fits like really gooder for the most part. So we're not going to have to do a whole bunch of, you know, stuff to it. But what we'll do is we'll hold it like that. We'll shoot a little, well, there, just a little tacks to hold it. Just enough, okay? Now that's how we did this repair here. This other one, we did it differently. This one here, we drew where we were cutting out with that piece of metal that I had, and we just put the pattern there, cut it out, put it on there, and it actually kind of gave me a little bit, oh, it was up here. It gave me a little more slop. The reason why this is bunched up, yep, we blew through there too. These old cars, these old Mustangs rather, I don't know about that guy there. I think those panels are a heck of a lot thicker. I hope. It doesn't matter because I'm like replacing all of them anyway, but Just be aware that you're going to blow through metal like crazy. I didn't expect to blow through it as easy as I did. Actually, here I did, but on that fender over there, it was really solid. There was no rust. Well, I guess there was a few rust holes, but I cut them out, you know. And I lost that metal, or else I'd show you it. Because that metal was actually pretty darn good too, that I cut out. We're still using 18 gauge in here, because that's what I have. And like I say, this is close to what these cars had original, is about an 18 gauge metal. So we're going to continue to roll with it. Other than that, we have this little spot here to do. That's a little dented in. I might take my dolly and hammer this on the back side. See how he's coming through? I'll take a hammer on this outside. Can I show you? Maybe? I don't know if I can get that right angle or anything, but one of these days I'll get out all these little gadgets that this camera has, and it'll be really nice. Oh, you're upside down. Dang it. Okay, if you have zoom, like, just play pretend, okay? So we're gonna take and knock everything down. I'll take this hammer here with a little bit of round down. Why? Because it sounds good. And then we're just gonna and all I'm doing, I'm trying to get that. There's a few dents where the bolt's been really torqued on it. Now, granted, a little bit of filler will take care of that, but if we can take some of that out, oh yeah, that's more gooder, believe it or not. Golly, it's tight. So what we wanted to do is kind of like make that a little more flush. That's all. And that works pretty darn good. That's pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do to this is take a piece of steel from behind where my finger is, and I'm probably just gonna draw out a little circle, perhaps, and or just dent the metal just a little bit to get this curve and weld it right there. Weld it solid. And that should go, in theory, really good. I mean, in theory. But these two are the very last rust parts, I believe, that I have for repair on this car. Yep. And then all we have to do is fill in these little spots down here where the stainless steel was, which I am 100% sure will blow through at least a little bit. But we shouldn't have to do any rust repair there. This car had at least 185% more rust repair than what I thought it would. But it is what it is. You know, I have been holding these things in at times with magnets and with bare fingers. Not like bare fingers, but you know, no gloves on the fingers is what I'm getting at. So, and you're gonna wanna file that down there with your little air thing, because if not, that's gonna blow through and spark and do all that goodness. So, let's see. Let me get that ground down. We've got all that pretty well taken care of. We did rust treat this. That's why it's like rust, but paint, primer, rust. It felt good, so I went with it. So let me get this guy ready. This has been a really great tool for all this. So, I mean, it cleans things up in a hurry. And I like that. Let me just take one. Bang it off the camera. Just a few seconds, man. Just perfect. Also, clean your metal real well. I probably should have said that also. Where you're going to be welding. Oh, golly, that's hot. See, this has like a coating on it to prevent it from rusting. Take it off there. And there you go. So, hopefully, yep, I did the wrong darn side. Awesome. So hopefully you do the right side and not this side. Not rehearsed at all. So anyway, let me get this thing ready to go. I'll set up my welder and I'll even show you how I tack it in, just for good faith. All right, give me a few secs. Well, I got my heavy duty welding helmet on, so let's just see how this turns out. I'm gonna try it barehanded just so I can feel if it's flush or not. And if I scream, that's because I got burnt like a dummy. I'm trying to space this somewhat evenly so I don't have a big gap up front or in the back, because, you know, none of this stuff do I do perfect. I know, it's just camera tricks. But I want it as flush as I can get it also. Like that. Now batten down the hatch. And boom. Now, that burned through right there a little bit. Let me just show you. And that's actually good clean metal. So I'm just gonna have to feel that. It is what it is. Just like the same with that. That's a little bit bigger gap than what I want. I probably should have traced the exact outline of this and then cut my metal instead of going off the piece that I cut. So this is a lesson learned. Don't do exactly as I do. Do something a little bit different. But I will tell you this, that is hot and flush. Now, whenever you weld these down, you also, this corner is a touch high. So whenever I do that, I'm actually gonna push it in and give her a little tack right there. The reason why is it'll actually make that corner flat. You can take you a hammer and mold these things as you go also. It'll save you a bunch of body work later. I can't believe that's actually flat. That's awesome. But what I'm gonna do is go around and tack, tack, tack. And that's a train wreck, so that's good. But I had the same thing all over this car. We're just gonna fill it full of weld, grind it down later. Like Dad says, if you're not a welder, you're a grinder. It is what it is. So, we're gonna fill this one up, fill that one up, spot that one. Look how good that one went. What happened here? What did I do? I must have took a sloppy measurement, because that should be as good as this. Anyway, next time, not on this project, but on the next project, the 69, we'll be tracing what we cut out like we was doing in the beginning on this project, and then we'll be doing that. So anyway, we're going to finish that guy. We're going to add a little piece in there and call this one DUN done. I'll show you the end result to this guy. Now, let me tell you something before I forget. As you're welding this, take a break, get your air gun. You don't want to warp these panels, because if you got this flush, I mean, you could really do some damage. You don't want to warp this little piece of metal. It's not going to take much to warp this. This is just a small little piece of metal. It don't take much to get some heat in there. So don't forget that whenever you're welding, because you'll probably have welding gloves on like I'm getting ready to get on, and you won't be able to feel it as much. So just keep that in mind. Take your glove off after you cool it down. Make sure you're flush everywhere. If you need to push it down, grab you a screwdriver even and push down. Once you have it tacked in a few places where you think it won't come off, push it down, make it flush, and hit it with a weld. It's that easy. And it really is. It's not that difficult at all. I mean, honestly, I haven't done any of this stuff before in my life. And this, even though it's rude and crude right now, I promise you that will be nice and smooth with nice, pretty paint on it that you'll never be able to tell it looked like this. I mean, this actually came out a lot better than what I thought it would, but it still needs work too. That's fine. But the better you do at all this, the less body work you got to do later, and body work is time consuming. So that's what's going to take a lot of time on this car. Anyway, I've been yakking a lot. It's for free. I'm not even charging. And we're gonna go ahead and finish up this. We're gonna make one for that guy, and we're gonna call it a night. Like I said, like 12 times ago. So just give me a few. We're gonna, you know what? Why don't I just show you guys, okay? I'll show you guys exactly what I mean whenever I say tack in a few spots and let her cool down. All right. Now, I'm gonna hold it down here. Make sure you skip it around. Shoot. Also, when you do fill welds like that on the metal, it puts more heat in the metal. So just because you're on one spot doesn't mean that you're not throwing a bunch of heat in that metal. Make sure your air hose leaks really good too. Oh man, this is blowing through. That stinks. We'll come back. Whew, hot. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that's how we're feeling it. We're jumping it from side to side and feeling as we go. This one is going to be a little tougher. As you can tell, she keeps blowing through a little bit. Phew. All right, now we got a bunch of heat in that metal. Cool down the door as well. Make sure you do these videos when your air compressor's just roaring. Well, we got them. So I just wanted to show you guys, I did not finish these. As far as the grinding, I just want to show you a little bit of, you know, it's going to be absolutely just fine. Flush. After it's ground, that is. And this one right here. See how it's kind of not so finished? Don't worry about that. That happens whenever you weld and you grind. So what I did was I cut a piece of metal, fit it in from behind, weld it to the front, and that's what we got. Now, you're going to notice whenever you grind it down also, you may have little pit holes. Perfectly normal. Because weld, even though it's liquid metal, it's not like putty where you can just kind of smear it and just send it. You know what I mean? So you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. I basically just wanted to show you guys that you can get it, you know, pretty much flush. Just like this rear quarter panel, in case you guys haven't seen. I was slowly fitting this thing what I would call perfection. There's no Bondo in this. This is all metal. These little welds here were put after I ground it down, because that's the way you do correct metal repair. Dare I say it, boys and girls? I'm gonna say it. Are you ready? No more rust repair. I said it. No more. I don't think we have any more at all. That right there will complete the patch panels, all that good jazz. The only thing I do have to fit is this rear tail pan, which we will get to later. Like later, maybe in like the next episode, if I can figure out how to fit it. Yep, a virgin of that one too, huh? Sure am. And I just want to add, I think I got that one on CJ Pony Parts. I don't know if it was the cheapest one, but it probably was. Just saying, you know, that's kind of the route we like to go, because honestly, all these panels, they don't fit. That's just straight up. None of them fit right. It doesn't matter really if you go too expensive or not. I'm actually going to find out if the AMD stuff, everything I'm hearing, AMD mostly lines up on a lot of stuff. I think every part to this car so far is AMD and or factory. So this one ought to go pretty smooth, I hope. Other than that, guys and gals, I know this rust repair stuff, not a lot of people dig, but it could help someone. So, and this is a full-on, I didn't expect restoration on this car. I really thought it was going to be throw a motor in it, weld the floors in it, and send this sucker. I didn't expect to go this deep at all in this car. But as any of you car guys and gals know, it changes within an instant. This was going to be a actual flip car at one time. Not anymore. I know, we're a Chevy guy, but we're keeping it. I said it. So we've come actually quite fond of it. We love our pony cars. That being said, we're going to fit this panel in later. I'm going to try to do an episode on that. I don't really know a whole lot of what I'm doing on that. I know I have to make this and this and this panel all kind of talk together before you like permanently send it. So we're going to try it. Hopefully it ends up good. If not, we're going to cover it with a bunch of other mistakes and say that it's fixed. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate every one of you. I know there's a lot of short films out. I'm trying to get more subscribers, so hopefully we can get like more quality restorations. That'd be cool, right? So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And if you don't mind, where is it? Just a little subscribe button. It's somewhere there. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, give me a like. I appreciate the heck out of it. Y'all have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time here on Right Turn Garage TV. It's only going to get better. All right, so hopefully you guys can see roughly what's going on. I'm just filling the gap in between there. I'll hit it on both sides, hit it, release, and jump it across like this until I can feel it. Yes, I know that looks like poopy, but guess what? They sell grinding wheels every single day, and I'm not a professional, so that's right there is how I gotta have to do it. Now the good thing is the bottom ones will be flush, the top ones will be flush. I'll just have to work on those and those. So, you know, you take the good with the bad and then you divide it by 2, something like that. Anyway, that's what I'm doing with this weld. I'll show you guys the end result on that and that one up there. All right, so give me like 4 or 5 hours or days and I'll show you. All right.